Here's a blade by CRKT. This is the fixed blade version of their very popular M16 series of folding knives. Alright, so fixed blade version of classic folding knife. It is SK5 carbon steel, true full tang. Alright, so kind of I'd say a tactical offering from CRKT, but I had one of those folders 10, 12 years ago. So I just thought that would be interesting. So if you need that, this exists. An important upgrade has been made to this Kaiser Harpoon Mini. The previous models of this were D2. This is 3V. Alright, so it's a neck knife, little mini knife for convenient everyday carry. Alright, so now using 3V steel. That is a much more beloved steel. Much more beloved steel than the D2. So if you want a 3V neck knife, consider this. And speaking of stacked leather handles, this is a Rough Rider Combat Bowie knife. It's a large knife. And if I remember correctly, this thing was, I think it was like around $18 or something like that, like an absurdly low price. Right? The only thing is, it's definitely going to require some sharpening out of the box, but for that price, it's totally worth it. Comes with a bare bones sheath. Alright, but yeah, Rough Rider Combat Bowie. Here we have the Wild Witness number 11 on top and number 9 below. Now these strike me as knives that were probably based on some much more expensive knife, right? But these are not. So I will be putting these through their paces. And yeah, they're pretty inexpensive. I've seen these sold by more than one brand is selling the same knife, at least in America. But these were sold by Wild Witness. More fixed blades for you. So that is the Off-Grid Knives Alpha Dog. A lot of people have already reviewed this. What happened was these actually sold out in this color. This was actually the first off-grid knife that I wanted. But it was sold out for so long, I bought like 3 or 4 others and reviewed all those. Well, they finally got it back in stock. So now I have the Alpha Dog. And this is an Ifengro EF146. The main claim to fame of this is how thick it is. This thing is heavy. This thing is just freaking heavy. This is overbuilt, okay? They do that on purpose because, well, it's just a flex. So we're just gonna smash that through some oak, right? And see if it can hold up. I have somehow ended up with 2 Lengren Chief knives. I mean, these remind me of even more expensive blades. So I'll definitely review that. And yet another tactical fixed blade. So this was an unbranded, just generic Tanto, but it does remind me of a Bastinelli knife, a far more expensive knife. Alright, so just a generic Tanto. It is true full tang. They didn't really have a name for it, so I will include a link if it is still available. If you can use US Amazon, I'll include a link to that. But yeah, if you want a generic version of a far more expensive tactical Tanto, you can check this out. Here is a new multi-tool. This is a Roxxon Flex Companion, and it's a modular multi-tool. So it comes with those, a saw, scissors, so forth, but you can switch those out and put it in whatever configuration you want. Alright, so this is their newest modular multi-tool, which is compatible with their other modular multi-tool. S21 Search. Maximum lumens 3000. Maximum beam distance 400 meters. That's why they're calling it the Search. Right? For a light of this size, it has just superior performance. I've wanted this light for months. And for months it was $120. And then just for like one day on one of the holiday sales, they put it down to $80, right? So I got this for 33% off, and I jumped on it because I know the standard price. I've been watching this thing I've been watching this thing for literally half a year, just waiting for that sale. Yeah, so a very carryable light, streamlined, and it's got a micro arc oxidation finish, smooth reflector, a large fixed blade for you. This is a ba-kor, and I've already reviewed a ba-kor, so you can check out the previous review, but they seem to like big blades. It's a true full tang. It's got a sub tip there like a Tanto. So this should be fun to chop some stuff with. Here we have another attractive fixed blade. This is the ST12. The brand is Sitivian. I'm not sure how they want that pronounced, but it is the ST12. Nice fixed blade. There have been a few complaints about it having a small handle. It fits me okay. I have a large size hand, right? But if you have like really big hands, you know, you want to try something else. But yeah, classic blade shape. That review will be upcoming. This fixed blade is the ST14, again from Sitivian. It is AUS 10 steel. Nice blade shape, lots of belly. Suppose you consider it a Skinner because of the belly, but it's got a short handle, but long enough. True full tang. Yeah, a nice little convenient mid-sized fixed blade. Came with this sheath. So this brand is coming out with some interesting and I would say useful designs. Here are a few folding knives for you. We've got the Trevisa DOR, D-O-R. It's got denim micarta handle scales. It's a button lock with a flipper, and it is Sandvik steel. And that Kaiser is a Kaiser T1, which is 154 cm steel, and nice micarta scales. I've actually been after this Kaiser for a long time. They have some fixed blades, or I have some fixed blades by the same designer as the T1. And this Trevisa, as you know, I have a little bit of a collector fetish for the denim micarta. Just think it looks attractive. And the blade shape and the use of the Sandvik steel sealed the deal for me to pick up this Trevisa. And here we have a short spear that was sold on Etsy. Kind of like those Zulu spears, the close combat ones. It's almost like a short sword with just an extra long handle. All right, so mini spear or spear short sword. And a barong. So I'm definitely going to be killing some pineapples with those. Over here, this was on sale, again for Black Friday. It is a Remington Express Hunter in 22, air rifle. 950 feet per second maximum with light pellets in 22. Now this was on sale for $105, which is an excellent price, right? $105 on sale. Up here we have the Crosman Shockwave, which was on sale for like $98 at Walmart and Amazon. And when I bought that, it came with a 20% off code, which I used to get this is their newest full auto, right? BB gun. M1 full auto, right? It's their replica carbine. Here is an odd knife that I found. It's a full flat grind. It's got stacked leather handle. It kind of reminds me of my K-bar, my USMC K-bar, except the grind, you know, it's like if they took a K-bar but gave it a full flat grind. It's DC53 steel. It's Seng, whatever that is. Let's compare it to a real K-bar. Okay, so this is my K-bar USMC that I've had for quite a while, actually. So you see, it's a little bit longer than a typical K-bar, and like I said, it's got the full flat grind, kind of like the grind on a Cold Steel Trailmaster. Here is a knife that is completely nuts. This was sold as the HK97 by TZ Knives, and right after I bought it, it completely disappeared. As you can see, I mean, look at that blade, dude. Look at that blade shape. I'm going to guess that whoever designed this was thinking of shanking a fool. But yeah, I hope they get more of these in stock. I would say it's a collectible weapon. Almost any knife can kill. But whoever made this, you know they had some some aggressive intent. I'll just say that. So yeah, HK 97, they need to make more of these. And another tactical knife for the discerning ninja. This is a Takumatak Karambit. It's kind of like a budget version of a Cold Steel Tiger. It's around the same size. It's true full tang. Got that ring. And I guarantee anybody who buys this probably already has the Cold Steel Karambit or is going to get it in the future. Because if you're into Karambits, you know. Right? Comes with a Kydex sheath. Yeah, so just a large, budget-friendly, single-edged Karambit for you. And some more self-defense-oriented blades for you. This is a Kanku C1394. Yeah, that name just rolls off the tongue. All right, so it's a little forward tip last-ditch blade. True full tang. As I was looking around at this, I found this, which I like a little better just because it's got a bit longer length, so this can certainly slash and cut, but this is long enough that if need be, you can also just shove it right in. Know what I'm saying? I had to fix the wrap on this. It was really bad when it arrived, but I made it a lot better. That thing is amazingly inexpensive as well. It was literally its attack force. I will include a link to this and to all of these, but especially to this just because the item number on this is like 1,000 frickin' letters and numbers long. Well, why don't they just name these knives? Name it after an animal, like any vague animal. Like, I would name this the Rabid Porcupine Quill. And here we have a tracker style of knife by Ocean Knives. All right, so Ocean Knives tracker. This is more of a mid-sized tracker. The Ocean Knives tracker is a shorter version of this previously reviewed Big Cat Roar Jaguar tracker, right? So if you want like a little bit of a smaller sized tracker than this, check that out. And this was only like, it was less than $30. So it's actually pretty nice for less than $30 if you want your first tracker. Here we have some high quality daggers from Italy. The brand here is Spear Pro. These are diving daggers, but of course you can use them on land too. We've got the 3.5-inch blade model and the 4.5-inch blade model. And some more daggers. This is an ST17, and the brand again is Sativian. That's a pretty nice one. This is a generic ring dagger that I believe it's supposed to resemble a Tor knife. The Tor dagger is around $350, so check out Tor Knives. This generic, oh no, it disappeared. I don't know if it's available anymore, but there you go. And this looks like a letter opener, but it is actually a dagger. And again, this was from TZ Knives, but they sold out of them because it was very inexpensive. But I mean, you don't want that sticking out of your neck all the same. But this one is pretty nice. This is actually the Sleipner or Sleipner steel. Alright, so check out ST17. So here we have, I would call it a trench spike, or maybe a throwing spike. It was sold by Sharp Edge Knives on US Amazon. They sold it as tri-edge knife or tri-edge dagger. It actually has 4 edges, right, if you count them up. And it is heavy. It is heavy and thick. Now, it actually looked blue in the picture, but it's not blue, it's gray, right? It's like gunmetal gray with a Damascus-like pattern on it. This thing is heavy. So heavy, in fact, I really doubt anybody would be carrying this like on their waistband or something like that. So it's mainly a collectible or a throwing spike. A magnum shank, so to speak. If you need it, if you want it, this thing exists and it's pretty badass. And here we have some random, inexpensive bad boy knives, right? Knives that people tend to not approve of. Got this OTF, which this was about $60. It's huge for an OTF. This is sold at Blade Ops, so I'll include a Blade Ops link. If you don't see it, it means they sold out, but they have a lot of stuff like this at Blade Ops. All right, and then this is really cheaply made, but it's just a fun item. All right, yeah, this has a very light plasticky feel. I mean, but it doesn't matter if you're not buying this to seriously go to war with. Okay, you're probably just buying this because you enjoyed the comic. And some inexpensive but fun balisongs, also usually sold at Blade Ops. You may remember my bottle cutting video with this. Well, at the time, this one was actually sold out, but this came back in stock, and I think this eventually sold out as well. So who knows if they have them now. But I was able to acquire the satin finish version of this one, so now I have the yin-yang pair, so to speak. These were $20 each, that's why they keep selling out. And this, I'm sure they're calling it like Skull Bally or something of that nature. And again, it's just a cheap, fun balisong. So those are usually sold at Blade Ops. This is the Cold Steel Woodsman Sax. All right, so they're saying this is their Woodsman version, right? So perhaps usable the way you might use a mini machete, splitting, chopping, carving, whatever. Different woods tasks. I believe this is made in India. You know, we'll see what we can do with this out in the woods. This is going to visit the creek. Yeah, it's got a satin finish. I know it's hard to see because it's got such a high polish, but Cold Steel Woodsman's Sax. And Marbles has a new tactical tomahawk. I would argue it's more of a throwing hawk. These are available at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. This is their tactical hawk. The reason I'm saying I think of it as a throwing hawk is because it's inexpensive, it's one piece, just super basic construction. It's the kind of thing you can throw and throw and throw and not really care if it gets beat up. I would not go to war with this. I personally would not use it as a tactical hawk. I would just use it as a fun throwing item. So I'll probably make a video. I might chop a few into a few branches or something just to show you, but mainly I'm going to use it as a throwing hawk, so I'll be throwing it at a stump. You may remember my review of this, which is the Phi-Torch or Phi-Torch P50. Well, Big Brother has arrived. This is the P200. So, yeah, we have a very nice, really fat soda can light. And this has micro arc oxidation coating as well. Alright, so, and this was on sale for a very good price around Black Friday, right? This was on sale, so that's why I picked it up. So this was actually sold as a wakizashi, but it's more of a tanto. I would call it a tanto machete, right? The older school Japanese style tanto, not the sub-tip variety. One piece construction. This came extremely sharp. I feel like Cold Steel should have just made this. It reminds me of my Cold Steel machetes. A mini wakizashi that I would just call a tanto machete. But it was surprisingly well made. Alright, we got some high quality throwing spikes here. They call them throwing knives. I guess they don't have an edge though, so I call them throwing spikes. But these are fairly thick and heavy. For their size, and the tips are reinforced. These are mainly for no spin. Alright, these are Yindizi throwing spikes from Tactical Edge Dojo. And more throwing spikes. Alright, so these are even thicker with reinforced tips, and these are, well, there's the logo, which I interpret as Think Forward. That's the name of the brand. I will include a link to these so you can check out if you can use US Amazon, and you can read the exact weight and the exact length and all that good stuff on the link. But some nice no-spin throwing spikes. And yet more throwing spikes. So these are JXE, JXO. That's the brand, all right? And again, these things are freaking huge and thick and heavy for no spin throwing. Now they're calling these their Thunder throwing spikes. These are much bigger than the previous JXE, JXO throwing spikes, okay? These are the previous ones, right? So you can see how much bigger they've made these. And yet more throwing spikes. These are even heavier and even thicker, right? Look at that. Yeah. So these are, they were sold as elongata throwing knives. That's what they were sold as. From Vulture Blades. These are from Bulgaria. All right. They're not sold on Amazon. These are sold on Etsy. I think these are sold out, but I'll just include a link to the seller and you can see what they're selling. But yeah, these are elongata Bulgarian throwing spikes. Here is a very useful size and shape comparison between all the throwing spikes. So these are Yindizi Tactical Edged Dojo. These are the Think Forward. These are the JXE, JXO. And these are the Elongata from Vulture Blades. Right, so you can see the escalation that's occurring here. All right, so if you want to get into no-spin throwing and you want some throwing knives or spikes that the tips are not going to bend and these are not going to break. These are very well made, right? Okay, my YouTube friends, so that was definitely quick and dirty. The sales start months and months and months before Christmas, up into Christmas, and then we have the New Year's sales. So those are just items I took advantage of in that time period. There's no way I'm going to be able to do comprehensive reviews of every single item. So don't wait. If you see something you're interested in, don't wait for the review because I'm only one human. I mean, seriously, I'm only one person. I'm 50 years old, right? So I'm going to have to decide which ones I most want to do a full review of. I'm definitely going to kill some pineapples today with this spear, though. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a good holiday season. This is the We All Juggle Knives channel. I'm out.